Hey all, 118 Set Shadow here. We're in the weekend of BCS Houston, Texas right now, which will be ending today. Standard happened yesterday, and I haven't heard any news yet on what the top decks were for that one. So that will be something to look forward to in the next coming days. But going into the market watch, first thing I want to cover today is a new product that got released over this weekend, the Stardust Blade starter deck. So, similar to how we got the starter decks for the start of the DivineZ series, this deck is also going to come with an energy generator in it. So, that now makes it a total of 7 different decks that you can get the generators from. Oh yeah, and to that same point, while we're on the topic of energy generators and Houston, Texas, this should also be the first tournament where they're actually giving the now energy generator for the top cut of the tournament, which I don't know how many people actually attended. So from one comment that I heard, it sounds like it may have only been top 16 cut this time, but it would be hard to imagine for Texas. I would think they would at least have a top 32 cut like they did in Georgia, but I guess we'll see. In any case, going back into the deck itself, so the deck revolves around the Vergia ride line, and it also includes a number of new support cards for that ride line. In addition, what they did, similar to some other decks, is that they introduce a foil version of certain support cards that are in here for usage with the deck. And so you would have to purchase multiples of these to get a bunch of different foils of the cards themselves. So we'll see where pricing goes from there, but from the looks of it, it looks like players have already been picking these up for $15 to $20 a piece, depending on what it is. Azerware is one of the more noted cards to go with this deck, also because it's a great 215k for power level, I suppose. And in addition to that, you also get common versions as well, so at the very least you don't have to worry about having to go for the foils if you don't want to. And the other big thing that comes in this deck is a new Regulus piece called Union the Sky. This can serve as another energy cycles card where if you discard it, you can energy blast 3 or counterblast a draw, but then you have to remove it from game afterward. And it also serves as a blitz order that protects your units from attacks. So, the big thing on this one, the deck set initially starts at $20 for its typical MSRP, but from sales of this card already, we're already looking at a market price of about $15.50, and the lowest this is sold for so far has been $13.50. The high price, it's already sold as high as $19, and we've already had 40 sales since the start of this card's release. This is a good card overall, and as a Regulus piece, you can only play one copy of it, so with all the different Regulus pieces that are now in competition, it's interesting to see how they all just maintain their value the way they do. I mean, this one is brand new, so it'll have its initial hype to go for, but it'll be interesting to see just how much this ends up at in comparison to a lot of the other orders. Talking a little bit about Radylina, after finally getting the full lowdown on what we're getting for glitters. Right now, when it comes to the original, the Grade 2 that has a reprint in triple drive right now, which the Grade 3 also has that reprint, the number of copies available on the triple drive reprints between the Grade 2 and the Grade 3 are pretty low, but in terms of pricing with the originals that you got from Set 5 and Set 8, pricing is about the same, if not maybe just a little bit higher. So the Grade 2 Radylina can range from about $2 to $2.50, maybe $3 right now, and then the Grade 3 is underneath $1 for its base pricing, regardless of its regular ones. As for the top of the line in terms of rarity, the Grade 2's SP is still off the market with a market price of $27.50-ish, and the FFR of the Grade 3 is currently available for $26, and then the market price there is about 23. Hoxie and Remord. I have been doing my one box a day series for Festival 2024 as I continue to open a bunch of different cards from this set, and this is still the lowest value of the dual nations that are available in this set. But despite even saying that, the price has been seeing a slow rise, especially on its market price as well. It dropped off around mid-September to about just over 650 in terms of its market price, but it's recovered all the way back to just over 950. And in terms of total sales, for the last 3 months, we've seen over 365 sales here. And on top of that, it's even looking at a daily record of sold. We're seeing at least 4 copies a day. Ultimately, though, the volume has dropped off somewhat since the beginning of November, but the volume in November so far has been higher than that of October. So this card is moving. And when it comes to what's been selling more recently, we're seeing low end go higher to about $9. And then the highest we've seen it sell for, which is most recent, is $13. In addition, the pricing on the base ones right now are $11 to about $13 right now. So it's a slow rise, but if you did pick this card up while it was still underneath $10, and heck, when it was closer to $5, you made out quite well. Sickle Blade of Inquest, Habitual Zone. So I'm going to go back through some of the other cyclers from set 10. Some of them have been seeing movement in terms of a lower amount of stock. Habitual Zone is one of those examples where there are only 6 listings on it left, and it's just over $13 to pick up on the low end. The FFR is currently at 6 listings as well, and just over $29 to pick up on the low end. Market price on the FFR is about $27.50, and as for the regular triple rare, that is around $14.50. Then the alternate art that you can pick up from set 13, which is Dautester. This one has a base price of $80, but last I remember it was also at $80 a while back. Yeah, this card has not really been seeing any volume of sales. The last sale we saw was at the end of September, where 3 of them sold for about $78 a piece. Otherwise, the only listings that are available are $80 listings. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. Ultimately, we do need some more quantities of this on the market to start lowering its price anyway. But if it hasn't sold for it hasn't sold for over a whole month now, so I would imagine that the price has got to go down a bit. Kolgaflon, which is the Dragon Empire original cycler, is now $13 with 10 listings left on the market and a market price of it's just above $12. So the price is seeing a slight increase on the base end. The FFR is currently at a base of about $26 with a market price at $25-ish. So that one is also just slightly higher and also only has 7 listings available. The alternate art of this one, Neom, hasn't seen a sale for quite some time now, to the point where it no longer even has a market price. So its base price is currently over $195. There are 2 listings available at this point at $195-ish a piece. And the market price on this one, well, this has been interesting. I'm not sure how they did this calculation, but apparently before about mid-October, they had the market price at about $235, and now it's just dropped off to $196-ish. So, interesting to see there. In any case, ultimately, it just hasn't sold for a whole 3 months now. So I would imagine there will end up being a decrease in this before it can see another sale. Love Binding Maiden Margaret, which is the Stoichia cycler, is also down to 8 listings on both its triple rare and FFR, and it's $5 right now to pick up the triple rare, while it's just above $15 to pick up for the FFR. And then we've got Eros, which is the alternate art for this one, and this one is significantly cheaper than the other ones, with 10 listings on the market too. The base price is currently $35, And from volume-wise, no sales in October at all, and we haven't seen a sale at all in November yet. The last time we saw a sale was about mid-September. Low sales have been at $30 and just above $35 for the high sales. And the listings that are available can go all the way up past 200, but given that there are a lot of $35 ones on the market, it's very unlikely we're going to get to that point. With Gandiva getting its mask revealed sometime soon, just going over some of the support cards that we're seeing in the deck, like Drag Raider Alfgar, is currently at a base listing lower than its double rare for its FR. So the FR has a base listing of $2 right now, while the double rare currently has a base listing of $4. So let's check that out. Nope, the $2 listing does have a $3 shipping price tag, while the others are still $3 to $3.50 in comparison to a base of $5. However, there are multiple copies of the double rare available, whereas these FR listings only have one apiece, and then there are 9 listings on the FR, but there are also 9 listings on the double rare, so I'd be careful if you're looking to build Gandiva with a mask. There's also Bernaya, which also got played in Vargas for a little while. Right now, 19 listings on its double rare, starting at $4, and the FR is $6 base with 10 listings, so there's still quite a few on the market at this point. Quaking Ripple Monster Edglima. This card is supposed to be getting new support with set 5, if I'm not mistaken. And when it comes to the original promo, which was a sneak preview promo, this only has 4 listings back on the market right now. We have seen an increase in volume of sales since the beginning of November. And overall, we've seen like 19 to 53 to 25 copies sold in the last several days. And in terms of what's available, all copies that are available are at least $4. And there are a number of them up, but basically if you pick these up under $1, you at least evaded this increase in price. Inlet Pulse Dragon. Now that Maelstrom has gotten more release information given, and of course there's still some anticipation of Flagberg, Inlet Pulse is currently still sitting at a base of $20 for the reprint from set 9, over $30 for its original, and if you want the SP, that's still around $45 to pick up right now. There's been a drop-off on Balderade, which is a generic from DivineZ 2 used for Brandgate. This card was moving its way upward into the $30 range, and the Silver Rare had listings in the $40 range, but both of them have market prices that are kind of funky. The Silver Rare is currently at $24 market price, while the regular Triple Rare is at $35. Yes, you heard me right. For some reason, the market price of the Triple Rare is actually $10 higher than the Silver Rares. And the FFR is currently at $100 base with a market price of $59. But with this drop-off, there's a good opportunity to pick up the Silver Rares in comparison. There are a number of copies in regards to the Triple Rare, but when it comes to the Silver Rare, while there are not multiple copies, there are still at least 3 listings right now that are underneath $27, so you could already pick up at least 3 copies for about as much, if not the same, as the Triple Rare. There was an announcement that all of the Stride Ride fodders from set 13 are getting reprinted in DivineZ 6. So cards like Enlargilv have dropped off in price. Now the base price of this is $28, and while we're still seeing some volume more recently, it seems that volume saw a pretty good drop-off with 17 copies selling $30 or lower. And for what's available right now, we actually have a lot of copies available for around $29, $30. So this is a good opportunity to pick it up before Night Rose, because we will be getting Night Rose before we get the reprint. Tizcar, the energy cycler from DivineZ 1, is back up in value, likely because of Odium's hype. And this card is currently at a base of $47, higher than that. Although volume has... We saw a little bit of a gap in sales up until mid-November, but we're still seeing $25 to $50 sales on the triple rare of this card, so something to keep in mind if you are looking to build Odium. The Sparkling Stars Lyrical Monasterio boxes have dropped off further. Now they're available for as low as $40 here. And there are lots of boxes on the market. I mean, this set in general just has a lot of downfall in terms of just how low a lot of the cards are priced now. So it's no surprise that we're seeing such a downtrend on the box pricing. One of the cards, though, which is Arkha, this is one of Absolute Zero's support cards. We still have not seen a single sale on the FFR, which is as low as $30. And then the triple rare has 32 listings at $1 with a market price of $2. But the silver rare only has 2 listings right now, which is interesting to see. And they're at $5. So I just wanted to point that one out, given that was a little bit odd. And our last card for today is Veidrock Dragon, which is one of Bladmeyer's newest support cards from set 4. So DivineZ set 4 had this card, and now we have a lot of listings on the market for as low as just over $5.50. 25 listings, and the market price has dropped off pretty far to just under $6. And in terms of quantities, there are lots of them available under $6 at this point, so there is plenty of room to pick this up if you're intending to build out Bladmeyer. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.